Hello, I'm Dr. Dudley Harris. I'm the founder of the San Antonio Eye Center. I'd like to introduce you to my good friend and colleague, Dr. Georgia Stephenson. Dr. Stephenson got a degree in horticulture from A&M, but then she decided to become a doctor and went to medical school. She graduated from the University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston, and then she did a residency in ophthalmology at the University of Chattanooga. She joined our practice here in San Antonio in 2010.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Stephenson. I'm going to be Dr. Stephenson's patient today.
Good morning, Dr. Harris.
Good morning.
I'm Dr. Stephenson. How can I help you today?
I'm having trouble seeing the computer screen.
Tell me a little bit more about what trouble you're having with the computer screen.
Okay, when I look at the screen, I have to hold my head up and get close to the screen so I can use my bifocals to read what's on the screen.
Well, let's take a look. I think I can help you with that problem.
Okay?
All right, I'm going to have you put your chin right here on the chin rest and your forehead up against that band. Good. Perfect. Dr. Harris, I know what you need. You need a pair of glasses just for the computer, with the computer distance in the top and then your reading ad in the bottom.
Okay, so with the top part, I can see the screen without having to hold my head back.
Exactly, and that will solve your problem.
That's what I want. People are often curious to know how a doctor chose to become a doctor in the first place, and how the doctor decided to become an ophthalmologist, or what specialty to go into. They're also curious to know, how does a doctor keep up with the field that he or she has chosen? How do they study? Can they speak Spanish? And what do they feel about the practice of medicine? In this video, you're going to hear the doctor talk about those questions. And you're going to come to know who this doctor really is.
I started out with a degree in horticulture, but after doing some mission trips, I realized that there was not a whole lot of utility with that. So I wanted something that would really work around the world, helping people. And so I started a pursuit of medicine. My interest in ophthalmology started in medical school. And as I mentioned before, I went to medical school because I really wanted to do medical missions. My experience with medical missions up to that point was family medicine and general surgery. And it became quickly apparent that I really didn't have the personality for either of those specialties. And I found myself gravitating toward ophthalmology because it really suited my personality and it really suited my skill set. After I finished my residency, I had the opportunity to go into private practice, which gave me opportunity also to do some short-term mission trips with Mercy Ships. I was able to go to Honduras with Mercy Ships and do some cataract surgery on kids down there, and I was able to go to Benin in Africa and do a lot of cataract surgeries over there. And I really think that those experiences have helped grow me as a person and as an ophthalmologist. Of course, I first learned Spanish because I grew up here in San Antonio, and that's what everybody takes in high school in the 80s for their foreign language requirement. But I really didn't start feeling comfortable with my Spanish until I went on a mission trip to Honduras. And I had an American translator who was just brilliant, and she told me, you really need to explain this to people directly. When I started here at San Antonio Eye Center, I felt fairly comfortable with my Spanish, and I would speak to patients in Spanish and try to explain things, and there was always somebody with me because almost everyone here at San Antonio Eye Center speaks Spanish. As I spoke Spanish, I became better and better at it, and now I sit down with patients and I assume that I'm going to be able to speak Spanish as well as I need to. And if I get in over my head, there's somebody to bail me out. I really think that it's better for patients if they can hear directly from the doctor rather than through an interpreter. We know so much about taking care of people and helping with them with their vision, and we're very successful at doing that. And there are still some areas that we need more knowledge and we need better treatments. So I'm always on the lookout as to how better to help my patients in those areas. I like to read a lot about specific problems. I like to go to conferences and find out more about what's new and what's cutting edge, so I can provide my patients with the most up-to-date treatments. And periodically I go to just a review course just to go back over the basics. There's so many patients in San Antonio with diabetes, and I really enjoy taking care of them because I know if they come in and they get regular eye exams, we can really protect their vision. I had a patient that who came to me with shingles, and he did have it in his eye, which can be a very, very difficult problem. And we were really very successful in saving his eye and saving his vision, but it left him with some eyelid problems and a lot of pain. And so the eyelid problems were such that I felt like an oculoplastic surgeon really needed to fix him. So I sent him to one of the most experienced oculoplastic surgeons in town, and he had the surgery, was very happy, but then he got an infection in one of the eyelids. And so I saw him and I said, you really need to see the surgeon that did this. And I sent him back to a surgeon, and the surgeon was curious how far that infection went back. And so he sent him for a CT scan, and on the CT scan, well, the infection was contained, but he had a brain tumor. And so he ended up having surgery to remove the brain tumor because they found it early. He went through chemo. He said he never really even felt like he was on chemo. He just took a pill every day and never made him sick. And as far as he's concerned, I saved his life. As a physician, of course, it's my obligation and my duty to provide the best possible care, the best cutting edge and most educated care to each patient. But it's also my privilege to educate patients on what's going on. I think an educated patient is an empowered patient. And it's also our privilege to be an advocate for patients, not only with their primary care physician, but also with their family and sometimes even their insurance company. I'm a very fortunate person because I love my job, and only recently have I come to find out that that's kind of rare. Most people don't love their job, but I love mine. I love it because I really enjoy our patients. Most of our patients are 65 and older, and I just think, you can't live 65 years and not be interesting. Everybody at 65 has something interesting about them. I love it because we really do help people. I mean, vision is a quality of life issue, and if you can see to drive, that's a huge thing. Mobility, independence, it's all tied to vision. And if you can help someone in their later years see better so they're more independent, it's a wonderful feeling. I also love the people I work with. We have such a quality staff here. Everyone is friendly, everyone pulls their weight. Most of them really like their job too. It's just a great environment to work in. So when you connect with a patient and you know that they understand that you care about them, it's a very satisfying feeling.